that's the question for me, in all fairness. I know we have a lot of names that we're going to talk about, but what's the identity of the club now? What's the philosophy of the club now?
What does Manchester United say to you, traditionally, in terms of a style?
Well, in my time, it was about winning, no matter how, especially when they were playing us. They were playing a different way. They adapted to situation in terms of how they were going to go about some games. Like they played us differently than other teams, and they had flair, they were direct, they needed to be direct, they could fight and win. When you think about Man United in my time, you think about a team that's there to win, no matter how. But I go back to what we're talking about. My time is gone, long gone. What's the DNA of the club now? What are you trying to do now? That's what normally should allow you to make sure that you can go and pick whoever's going to come to try to fit your way, and not having someone that's going to come to put their way in, and then another one come and then they try to put their own style, and then another one come and then they put their own style. So I give you an example of, I think we're all surprised when, in a good way, when Vincent Kompany got the job to Bayern Munich. But they looked at it, that's the guy that we want that's going to fit our DNA. Whether I liked it, you liked it or not, they were sure about it because of what they have within. And the environment that you create normally should give you a clear path of who you want to select and give him a chance to evolve at that club.
Okay, take care of the pass. All your angles are important, boys. Make the game as easy as you can. Yes, push it in. Dog standards. Good. Focus on the quality. Focus on the quality. Set your ball. Nice.
Right here.
Yes, Lucia. Pop. Yes, join in. Good. Enjoy the level, boys. Enjoy the level. Come on, standard. Good, Bruno. Good. Go. Good.
It's been a while since we've seen United in action, 11 days. What do we need to see today, though, compared to that Newcastle defeat?
Look, I think these big breaks in between matches probably in some ways are good for Michael Carrick. He gets lots of time on the pitch, on the training pitch with the players, but on the other hand, you don't get a chance to obviously get back at it, particularly after a defeat, but also to build some rhythm. So I imagine it's a little bit of a double-edged sword for him at the moment, but he'll want to see a performance, I think. Obviously the victory is so important, who they're playing against today. It's going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be end-to-end. I think there'll be goals. But I do think that performance matters, and I think that Michael will have known that over those preceding weeks of the Newcastle game, performances just weren't quite right, and eventually you can get caught out. So I think he'll want a good performance today and a good result. But I do think it's difficult sometimes when you haven't got a game sort of, if you like, within a sort of quick amount of time, because you're trying to manage players sort of up and downs during a long period off.
I think sometimes we can get so hyper-fixated on to think Michael Carrick and Manchester United have clawed back 11 points to Aston Villa from the start of his reign back at the club. I mean, that is mightily impressive, isn't it?
Oh, it's incredible. The position that United find themselves in from where they were pre-Christmas is a miracle, really. We went through that period, that 2-month period together, didn't we? It felt like we were coming here every single week, and it was a real struggle. But there's a light now that shines on Old Trafford. Michael Carrick's brought that sort of relaxed atmosphere back. He's got good composure. He's got a good way with dealing with the media. The results have come. The performances in the first part of his reign were absolutely sensational. Honestly, I think when we saw those performances against the likes of Tottenham, Arsenal and City, I thought that was some of the best performances I've seen here in the last 10 years. Since then, it's been more of a sort of not being at the best, not being at that level, but getting over the line and getting results. And it's been
a wave of debate has swept through the football world following a controversial VAR decision during the recent clash between Manchester United and Aston Villa in the Premier League. The incident, which unfolded at Old Trafford, has once again placed the video assistant referee system under intense scrutiny. The match itself was fiercely contested, with both sides showing determination and tactical discipline. However, the defining moment came late in the game when a Manchester United attacker appeared to be brought down inside the penalty area. Players immediately appealed for a penalty, and fans inside the stadium reacted with anticipation, expecting the referee to point to the spot. Instead, the on-field decision was to play on, and after a brief review, VAR upheld the referee's call. This decision sparked immediate outrage among United players, coaching staff, and supporters, many of whom believed the replays showed clear contact sufficient for a penalty. Social media platforms were quickly flooded with clips, screenshots, and heated opinions, turning the incident into one of the most talked about moments of the matchday. Critics of VAR argue that such decisions highlight inconsistencies in how the technology is applied. While VAR was introduced to reduce human error and bring greater fairness to the game, situations like this have led many to question whether it is achieving its intended purpose. The lack of transparency and communication between officials and fans has only fueled frustration, with supporters often left guessing how conclusions are reached. On the other hand, defenders of the system insist that VAR is still a valuable tool, emphasizing that it supports referees rather than replacing them. They argue that subjective decisions, such as determining the intensity of contact, will always generate debate, regardless of technology. According to this view, the controversy reflects the nature of football itself, where interpretation plays a significant role. For Manchester United, the decision proved costly, potentially influencing the outcome of a match that could have had important implications for their position in the league table. Meanwhile, Aston Villa capitalized on the situation, maintaining focus and composure amid the controversy. This latest incident adds to a growing list of contentious VAR calls in the Premier League, reigniting discussions about possible reforms. As the debate continues, one thing remains certain: VAR, while designed to bring clarity, often finds itself at the center of football's biggest controversies. Whether changes will be made to improve consistency and transparency remains to be seen, but for now, moments like this ensure that the conversation around officiating in modern football is far from over.